Last year, I had the opportunity to see Thundercat live, and as I was sitting there watching him play, I thought to myself, I could do that. Oh, not the playing. No. No, not in a million years. I can do that tone though. I can make my bass sound like that. So today, let me show you how to get Thundercat's tone using our favorite little $100 multi-effect pedal. Stephen Lee Bruner, aka Thundercat, is impossible to ignore in the bass world. He's played for Suicidal Tendencies, Flying Lotus, Kendrick Lamar, but you probably know him best for his solo work. Let's start as we often do by going through Thundercat's gear to see how he gets his signature tone, starting with that insane bass. Thundercat is most often seen with his signature Ibanez bass, the TCB 1006. It's a dual humbucker, semi-hollow, 6-string monstrosity. If you're feeling really saucy, you can pick these up all day, every day on Reverb for the cool price of $10,000. Most sources seem to indicate that this bass is strung up with Labella, Deep Talk, and flat wounds, which is kind of interesting for an extended range bass. Thundercat is also an Aguilar artist, so you'll most often see behind him an Aguilar DB 750 or 751 on top of a pair of Aguilar 410 cabinets. The pedals, though, are where we start to see some of that signature Thundercat weirdness. The Pictronics bass envelope phaser is probably the heart of what people most often think of as Thundercat's signature sound, but he has also been seen using a Moog Mogerfoger MF101 as an envelope filter, and also a Boss PH3 for his phaser. The other big part of Thundercat's sound is the Digitech Whammy. It's a pitch shifter. This pedal does both an octave down and octave up, and you'll hear this a lot on his solos all over his Tiny Desk performance, as well as a lot of his stuff live. So that's a lot, but I think I figured out a way to squeeze all of that into a single patch on our handy dandy Zoom. Let's just start with the basic amp and cab. Quite handily, the Zoom has emulations of both the Aguilar DB 750 and the 410 cab, so let's start with that and see what it sounds like. Side note, I don't have a 6-string. The closest I've got is my Yamaha BB735. I do have it strung up with flat wounds right now. Pickup blends right in the middle, and I'm running it in passive mode with the tone all the way up. So as a starting point with just the bass, the amp, and the cab, I think that sounds pretty good, and that honestly sounds pretty true to the Aguilar sound to me. So let's start adding in those crazy effects. Let's start with the envelope filter. The Zoom has a couple of different models, but I went for the Zetron. I think it just has the nicest sound of all of them. That sounded pretty good. Now let's take a look at our modulation. The Zoom has a couple of different phaser models. I didn't like any of them, but if you plug your Zoom into the computer and use the Zoom Sound Lab software, you can download an additional phaser that's just simply called the bass phase, and I think it sounds much better than the stock ones. So we're sounding pretty good there. The last piece of our puzzle is the Digitech Whammy, and for that we're going to be using the bass pitch shifter. Now note that unless you have the version of the Zoom with the expression pedal on it, you won't have this pedal, but you do have an alternative pitch shifter, which should work. It just won't have the expression pedal so that you can go up and down an octave at will. So there you have it. That's how to sound like Thundercat with a $100 multi-effect. If you'd like to download this patch for yourself, you can support me over on Patreon like these fine people. It'll only cost you $1. It's a bargain, frankly. Please do give this video a thumbs up. If you'd like to see previous How to Sound Like videos right here, do leave me a comment down below if there's somebody that you'd like to see on this series, and I'll see you on the next one. NP out.